The world fears the man it cannot control. Not the loud man, not the reckless man, not the man begging for attention in every room he enters. It fears the quiet one, the man who mastered silence, the man who walks alone without feeling empty, the man who stopped depending on validation to feel powerful. Because once a man becomes comfortable with solitude, he becomes unpredictable. And unpredictable men are dangerous. The lone wolf was not born different. Life made him different. Betrayal made him observant. Pain made him disciplined. Silence made him powerful. This is not the story of loneliness. This is the evolution of a man who learned how to survive in a world full of masks. Before we begin, subscribe to the channel and join the Sigma Male Saga, because this journey was never meant for weak minds. Most people talk too much because they are afraid of being ignored. The lone wolf discovered something different. The quieter he became, the stronger he looked. Silence gave him control over his emotions. It stopped him from reacting impulsively. It forced people to wonder what he was thinking instead of hearing every thought immediately. While others desperately fought for attention, he learned to observe. And observation became his advantage. Because the man who speaks less notices more. He sees fake behavior. He notices insecurity. He detects weakness hidden behind confidence. That is why his silence feels intimidating. Not because he is trying to appear mysterious, but because his mind is always calculating. The lone wolf was once loyal to the wrong people. He trusted deeply. He believed words. He gave second chances even when people already showed their true intentions. But betrayal changes a man permanently. After enough disappointment, he stopped expecting loyalty from everyone. He realized many people only stay close while benefiting from your energy, your success, or your youthfulness. The painful truth awakened him. Most people love convenience more than loyalty. And from that moment, he became selective. Now he studies consistency instead of promises. He watches behavior instead of listening to emotional speeches, because experience taught him that fake loyalty always reveals itself under pressure. There comes a moment when a man becomes exhausted from trying to please everyone. That moment changed the lone wolf forever. He stopped explaining himself to people committed to misunderstanding him. Stopped shrinking his personality to make insecure people comfortable. Stopped chasing acceptance from crowds that never respected authenticity. And suddenly, he felt free. The need for validation disappeared. No more performing, no more pretending, no more sacrificing peace just to fit in socially. Because the lone wolf realized something powerful. A man controlled by approval can never become truly independent. The day he stopped needing applause, he finally became himself. Isolation destroys weak minds, but it sharpens strong ones. The lone wolf spent long periods alone, not because he hated people, but because solitude became the only place where he could hear his own thoughts clearly. While others escaped silence through distractions, he faced himself directly. His fears, his anger, his failures, his insecurities, and slowly he transformed. Solitude forced him to grow mentally stronger. It built emotional endurance. It taught him discipline without external motivation. That is why the lone wolf carries calmness inside chaos, because he already survived battles nobody ever saw. The lone wolf became highly observant after seeing how deceptive people can be. Now he studies energy more than words. He notices forced smiles, passive aggression, jealousy hidden inside fake support. Years of watching human behavior turned him into someone difficult to manipulate. Because once a man understands psychology, people become predictable. He understands that many people only respect power. Many pretend to care while secretly competing against you. And many disappear the moment you stop benefiting their lives. This awareness made him emotionally careful, not cold, not heartless. The lone wolf values freedom above almost everything else. freedom to think independently, freedom to walk away from toxic situations, freedom to live without emotional chains controlling his decisions. That is why he protects his time aggressively, why he disappears from draining environments, why he avoids becoming emotionally dependent on anyone. Because dependency creates weakness. The lone wolf learned that the more control people have over your emotions, the more power they have over your life. So instead of becoming addicted to attention, relationships, or validation, he became addicted to freedom. And that freedom gives him peace most people will never understand. The lone wolf's discipline was not created through motivation videos or inspirational quotes. It was built through suffering. Pain forced him to evolve. Heartbreak forced him to mature. Failure forced him to become mentally tougher. While others used pain as an excuse to quit, he used it as fuel. That is why he keeps moving when exhausted. Why he continues working while others complain. Why he trains his mind even during difficult moments. Because discipline became survival. The lone wolf understands that emotions come and go, but self-control is what separates powerful men from weak ones. Most people stay where they are disrespected because they fear loneliness. The lone wolf does not. Once he feels his presence is no longer valued, he disconnects emotionally, quietly. No dramatic arguments, no desperate attempts to force loyalty, no emotional breakdowns. He simply leaves because he understands something most people ignore. Staying in toxic environments slowly destroys self-respect. That is why people are often shocked when the lone wolf disappears permanently. They mistake his patience for weakness, his silence for tolerance, until one day, he is gone forever. Women notice something unusual about the lone wolf. He does not chase. He does not beg for attention. He does not center his life around female validation. And that emotional control creates powerful attraction. Because in a world full of desperate men trying too hard, the lone wolf feels rare. He remains calm under pressure. He listens more than he talks. He values purpose more than temporary attention. That creates mystery, confidence, emotional stability. Women often become curious about men they cannot easily control emotionally, and the lone wolf never loses himself trying to impress anyone. Society fears independent thinkers. It fears men who question everything, men who refuse to blindly follow trends, men who cannot be manipulated through approval, shame, or social pressure. That is why the lone wolf is misunderstood. People call him distant because he protects his peace, arrogant because he stays silent, emotionless because he controls himself. But the truth is simple. The lone wolf simply learned the value of inner peace. He knows not everybody deserves access to his energy. Not everybody deserves loyalty. Not everybody deserves his trust. And in the end, his greatest strength is not dominance. It is self-mastery. Because the man who conquers himself becomes impossible to control. The quiet man, the observant man, the disciplined man, the Sigma male.